Hi. I'm going to try to do a quick overview of all of my little plants. So, here we go. All right, I'm going to go back in my boundary and I will just have to hop to my places. Okay, so I'm just going to go over a lot of Captain Obvious things that we all knew when we got here on planet Earth. We all knew this stuff fresh from the ether. Oops, I gotta turn that off. Oops. We all knew this fresh from the ether when we got here. But then we went and got indoctrinated out of us. And it was actually kind of duress because how did they indoctrinate it out of us? Well, they basically made it a sense of survival. Like if you don't listen to all the things they're indoctrinating you with, if you don't get A's and B's, then how are you supposed to get anywhere in life? You might starve. That's how they work. They're pretty creepy. Yeah, so anyways, this is the first thing I did today. I'm just going to go over it. First, actually, I'm going to go over here. Clown World. Okay, so this is Clown World right now. This is obviously a turd. A clown. This is a clown who thinks that he should hoard everything. For some reason, I don't know why everyone believes him, but he thinks he's special. And because he did a grift when he was, like, his ancestors did a grift, and they did a grift, and then they continued on this grift for centuries. So they seem to think that they own these billions of acres, while the rest of us are supposed to be... Sorry, I just gotta get closer. While the rest of us are supposed to just be trapped in little 15-minute places like that. Or if you're lucky, you can be in like a little city or a little town, more urban or whatever. But the goal here is to take these little towns, which I'll explain later, and spread them all over here and get rid of the clown man. Because why does he have all this? And for centuries now, and they pushed us all out into these little pollution areas. Okay, so I will start over here. So this is what we're dealing with is we have the clown person has made it, well, that clown corporation, we'll say clown corporation, has kind of made it in style to live in places like this, which is just part of the indoctrination. It's like you won't survive if you don't make enough money and go live somewhere like that. And then there's other people who live in smaller towns like this. And then there's even people who live somewhere like this. But they still have to worry about all kinds of weird things. Weird things that make no sense. Like this person's property taxes are probably through the roof, so they don't really feel safe and happy and content there. They just put on an act and pretend that they are. And these people are all too close to each other. They can hear each other, they can see each other out the window. And then these people, it's not their fault, but they're always getting angry. Because he can hear him slam his car door, which makes him angry, and when he slams his car door, and they can hear everything. And then that just kind of spreads to everyone. It's like everyone feels angry. And that's not right. And then there's this other area here. It's another fake survival con. Well, what if you work in the government? You're still working in the government. What are your dreams? What are your real dreams? Have you gotten to do any of them? Oh, sure, you get to live in a big building that's, ooh, a virtue signal. Look at my building. Meanwhile, you're covered with all these things they spray in the sky. And it's just not natural for anybody. Not even the people, the virtue signalers. They've just kind of been pushed in under duress into those jobs. Because right when you get out of the gate, you are indoctrinated into thinking the only way to survive is doing this thing here. So then, I'm just going to hop over there with my feet instead. So then, what's a solution to this? If we stop listening to the clown over there, then how can we make things better for everyone? And not be a clown ourselves, but not live like this either. Because this person is in debt up to their eyeballs. The other ones are going through an indoctrination plan. These people can see and hear everything they do, so they start gossiping, and because they're frustrated, right? They don't have any privacy. It's just not natural. So, in the new earth, or the new earth, it'd be much better to have a minimum per individual. So, this is 10 acres. And so you can grow your own food, organic. You don't have to rely on the food supply chain in the future. You can have your own little chickens and whatever other food you want. This is the swimming pool for fun. And then you can decorate however you want. You don't have a bunch of homeowner associations telling you what to do and what not to do. Got a little pond here for fish. And here is our little polymer clay dome house. Doesn't have to be a dome. Again, it can be whatever you want. Mine, I want to do a geodesic dome that's actually attached to my house, so I can sleep in here, have my hot tub there, and all my plants. So, what's this over here? It looks like a flower. Well, this is 4 little units like this. So, we have, and these are all just suggestions from our childhood, because we all kind of remember feeling this way. So, here we have each one of these is one of these. So this is a privacy bubble. You're surrounded by all this habitat, full of birds and squirrels and raccoons and bugs and all that stuff. In the meantime, this surrounding area is also a sound barrier. It's not just privacy, but it's also full of habitat. And you have a microclimate in here, so you have nice clean oxygen, whatever you want. If you don't pollute your own yard, you're not getting polluted like over there. So these are our little roads that go around, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And in the middle of each little 4-place bubble, it looks like a flower because we'll have a public area. And then this is the party zone. So here we have our farmer's market, salespeople, and somebody's making instruments. We got a band and all a party in the middle there. So this is a lot of what I've gotten off from the Anastasia books, the Ringing Cedars of Russia. And it just reminded me of everything I was thinking of in my childhood that got indoctrinated out, and it never made any sense to me why they indoctrinated it out, because this makes way more sense. Oops, okay, I'm going to walk over here and then go here. Okay, so I was talking about over there about the polymer clay, and basically it's a clay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to walk around in here. It's a clay that we can. I'm gonna go in the middle. It's a clay that we can sculpt into any shape. Oops, what did I do? I just floated right out of the picture. It is a clay that you can sculpt into any shape that you want. It kind of looks like a moose. It was supposed to be like a castle, but anyways, you can shape this kind of clay into anything you want. It's kind of like a spray foam, and it's strong as concrete, yet lightweight. It's also waterproof and fireproof and dry out and crack proof. Like concrete gets dried out, eventually it starts getting cracks in it, like potholes on the roads and stuff. So this is an ancient way that they've done things, that things have lasted for centuries. So we could start doing this, and then also plexiglass instead of glass, so it doesn't break so easily. So another idea that I think we've all had since we got here, but we got indoctrinated out of us, is, okay, so this is my little clay house that is strong as hell. And then you can do things with plexiglass, for example. I would like to have a wall dividing my kitchen and my living room. Oops. I'm just gonna make that darker. A wall dividing my kitchen and my living room. So I'm gonna make it with, why is it so thick? Well, you'll figure it out in 2 seconds. It is so thick because I am going to fill it with water. Bloop, 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 bloop. Do it this way. Bloop, 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 bloop. There's some water. And this water will be having, I'm just going to sit down. I'll have my little fish friends in there. Little fishies, woohoo, swimming around. And they're beautiful to look at between the kitchen and the living room. And then we will have a bunch of plants in there. And then what do we have on top? We can have, grow some food, do whatever we want. We can have, like, what's it called? Hydroponics on the top. And make this all like a beautiful little ecosystem between the kitchen and the living room. See, we should have been doing this stuff decades ago, literally decades ago. But the hall monitors have been preventing us because they just want to exploit every single thing we think, say, and do. So we can have our free energy. So we'll have our grow lights up there. And this will be an absolutely beautiful little living room, 10 times better than what I just made. Okay, I'm going to stand up again. Ooh. And then, let's see, where do I go next? We're way over there. Okay, so with clay, a lot of people are thinking, how are you supposed to, I gotta sit down again. How are you supposed to put all your wires through the house? Well, we shouldn't have to put wires through the house because with free energy, we can take every single thing and make it stand alone. So we don't need these wires, because what could happen with wires is, well, let's say the vacuum cleaner shuts out. Well, then that catches its cord on fire. That catches on fire. You got your whole thing going through the house. And it's a disaster. Because all those wires are attached to everything throughout your house. So, if we get rid of all the wires and make everything stand alone, we don't have that problem. And I'm not some genius. We all know that we could have been doing this probably centuries ago. I think centuries ago they were doing this. So with free energy, which will be the next place I go sit over there, we will have a standalone device attached to here. Standalone, standalone, standalone for our light switch, standalone for our video game, standalone for our TV, standalone for our vacuum, standalone for our light bulb. And then we just have to use remote control. Remote controls do everything for us, and we don't have to remote control everything because we'll be less lazy when we're not so uninspired. And then we can power our things that way. Yeah, so that's pretty easy. Okay, so I'm gonna crawl over here or stand up again. See if I can stand up and do it. Okay, so this one's another very Captain Obvious. We've all known this since grade 2, but it got indoctrinated out of us. This is just a very simple version of free energy. That's so Captain Obvious. So we take, oops, I gotta go closer. So we take our magnets. This is just one simple version. There's a million better versions, obviously, that aren't from grade 2, that are on YouTube. But once we get rid of the self-appointed hall monitors, we can do way better things. So obviously when this magnet meets this magnet, it pushes it away, right? So these guys start spinning. And on and on and on and on and on. So that is perpetual motion energy. No gas, no wind, no windmill. And you can make this way tinier than this, obviously, right? And then for something like a car, we could, you guys are smarter than me, so we could take this principle and we just put it in the car. And then when you put the pedal to the metal, it takes your little magnets on here. It aims this guy at these guys. And when you take your pedal off the metal, it unaims that guy at those guys. So that's, again, super Captain Obvious, super simple way to do things. So I'm just gonna go over there again. Okay, so all these ideas were not just indoctrinated out of us. They were also intentionally sabotaged out of us. So when we get here from the ether as a baby, you're like, you got all this information in the ether, it's in your brain when you're being developed. And then they give you these things full of heavy metals. And I think my 100th monkey video worked out good, so I don't have to go over that again. But basically, our immune systems start spreading the cure to each other very quickly through the 100th monkey effect in the ether. So that by the time that they come up with one of these, we are already better. And we're all going to be getting better very quickly. But these things take the credit for it. So do not do that because you don't want to take away all this information from your child. Because this, frying your brain with the heavy metals, will fry, obviously, your brain, your baby's brain. And I think I'm almost done. Yay! And obviously this was what I started off with, was the clown. So once we stop listening to the hall monitors, then we can start doing these little communities with that look like little flowers. At least 10 acres each. Probably should be way bigger, but for an individual, because we still want to be close enough to have our little party spot in the middle and walk and see each other. And, you know, maybe we'll have bigger spots in between each little pod, but at least 10 acres per person should be the minimum for you to have clean, fresh air. If you want to pollute your own yard, nobody cares. That's up to you. If you want to have a fire all the time and do whatever you want, because I'm over here and it's not gonna bother them, not gonna bother the party area, because this cannot go on. It's an absolute atrocity. And this is the reason. You have to stop believing in this. Stop listening to the clown show. Stop giving them any kind of authority. And then we can live like over there. Not the chemical poison air area, but over there. We can live like that. And then this is just also a quick introduction into a good way to wean from the system, the clown show system. And I will obviously do a more in-depth version of each Captain Obvious idea that I'm showing here. I can do that later if anyone has any questions. So, what have I got going on here? Well, right now, all the happy people are sending all of their money to the man with the gun. And that's literally the only reason why we're sending all those people money. It is theft. It is extortion. 100%. These people are the criminals. You should not be paying them at all. It is against everything. So, how do we keep society going? Well, all these people, we just take turns. We pay for the police as we're weaning. We're not going to need a lot of these things. We're not going to need all later. This person's paying for some food production today. This person's contributing to the fire hall. This person's contributing to entertainment. This person contributes to travel. This person contributes to education. And then what's this over here? Oops. This won't be here very long, because once we get our freedom back, then we can have our free energy. So all of this stuff, we won't, oops, I gotta move closer again. We won't be needing the power grid very soon, because there's so many better ideas than mine that I got from the ether. We all got the same ideas from the ether, but everyone else is way better at explaining them than I am. So basically, in the future, we won't need these wires anymore, because we'll have free energy. What about the water? Well, we have lots of water solutions and lots of composting and potty solutions. What about garbage? Well, with composting, we can get rid of most of that problem and just recycle plastic, etc. So, yeah, I'm just being Captain Obvious. But yeah, so that is just a really quick introduction into all these little ether ideas that I know we all have. We've all had them our whole life in the back of our minds. And we just been putting them down because the indoctrination is survival duress. So that's the only reason we were listening to that. So I hope you enjoy my video. Please share if you like the information, and if anyone's a techie that can help me to start implementing like this system, the global financial weaning system, that would be awesome. And yeah, a lot of these other things you could just do on your own, but it's so easy to do all these things if I just had some help. But the whole point is to stop obeying the clown show, everyone get their personal sovereignty back, and then when we all have our personal sovereignty back, nobody will be going to the clown show anymore. We'll be too busy helping with our new 10 acres each or more. And yeah, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Love from Melissa Mouse, also known as Lala.